Every Friday we get together right here for a 72-hour celebration. 72 hours. That's right. That's how many hours we're into our fast for this week. We do something powerful. We review what's been going on in the fast, and we talk about the benefits that are happening as a result of fasting. And today is no exception. I'm just excited to be here, excited that I am at the end of this fast, not just because I'm at the end, but because I've done something amazing for my body and something amazing for my health. And if you're with me, if you're here right now, you've done something amazing as well. You've shown up because you are ready to take charge of your health. You are ready to move in that direction of being healthy. Hey, if you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I am in the business of helping you to have the success in your health just like you're having everywhere else, so that you can show up for those things that are so important to you in your life, in your health, in your family, and so you can have a long life. You don't need superhuman strength. What you need is a system you can trust. You need strategies you can follow, and you need encouragement and determination to keep showing up and keep doing what you need to do to be healthy. Hey, welcome, whatever platform you're joining us from. If you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments, because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music. And let you know that I am excited that you're here. If you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments. Make sure you put a Q and a colon in front of those so that we'll know that that's a question, and we'll get to that as soon as we can. So wherever you are, I want you to drop into the comments where you're joining us from. Whatever city, town, village, country even, we want to make sure that we give you a quick shout out. And a special shout out to our Accelerator members who are out there. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the amazing examples that you are giving on making healthy choices. Okay, so that's what's going on. We're going to be talking about what's going on in my body. I've got my monitors, of course, here off to the side that you'll see right there, and right down below me is my Dexcom Clarity Report. Okay, so here in this space, our job is to help you to have success and have long-term success. And so a lot of things that we do here on the channel are designed so you can come and you can plug in and you can just not have to reinvent the wheel. One of those things is our Move campaign. So let's go ahead and let's listen to that promo right now. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started. Just so excited about that campaign, because it is optimizing our metabolism. It's giving us a space for us to be consistent and for us to do what we need to do to be healthy. So let's go ahead and let's jump in now. So 72 hours into this week's fast. If you are fasting, if you have been fasting with us and you are ending your fast here right now with me on the show, here's a hand clap for you, to let you know that we're excited for all of our community members, all of our viewers, all of our patients and our clients, everybody who is now taking charge of their health and saying, hey, I'm not going to be doing the things like we've been doing. I'm going to do something different, and I want to be healthy. I want to be around for a long time. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hop over and do our check-in. When I do our check-in, I talk about several different things, but three main components of the check-in has to do with how I'm feeling, right? So how I'm doing physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so what I want to do is I want to help you design a system for yourself so that when you are doing these check-ins, that you will know, hey, this is something that I need to be paying attention to as well. Because whenever you're making a change, whenever you're doing something, whenever you are adjusting, you want to make sure that you're able to evaluate and see, are those things working the way you think they should work, and are you getting the benefit of whatever it is, right? In this case, we're using fasting. We're walking through the health action plan. So we want to know, is it giving us the benefit that we think we should be getting? So number one, when we talk about our health, when we talk about fasting, how are we feeling physically? Okay, a lot of people will talk in this space about their energy. They'll talk about their feeling as though they're walking through mud, walking through quicksand, they hit a wall. And so a couple of words I want you to use, right? So number one, do you feel steady? Steady is the first word. Steady meaning that you're stable, you don't feel out of sorts. Do you feel tired is number two, right? So what is your fatigue level? Do I feel calm? Right? Or does it feel like things are going haywire? And then, do I feel energized? So am I steady? What is my energy level like? Do I feel calm? And do I feel energized? And so right now, I am feeling steady. Lots of things have been going on with me over the last several weeks, but yeah, finally, y'all, I'm feeling back to myself. So I'm feeling steady right now. I'm not feeling tired because I've been doing a good job of resting. And sometimes when things happen, you are almost forced to rest, and so that's what's been happening with me. So I've been having some forced rest. I'm feeling calm, because, after coming out of some of those things once again, my mind, and we'll get to mind in a minute, but I'm feeling calm and I'm feeling energized because I am seeing amazing benefits in my body. I'm seeing amazing benefits in my health. Okay, so all those things I'm excited about, and those are the words that I want you to begin using, right? So am I feeling steady? Am I tired? Am I calm? And am I energized? Okay? So go ahead and make sure that that's the part when we talk about our checking in, that's the first one, physical. And then, of course, mentally, are you feeling clear? Are you feeling foggy? Or are you feeling sharp? And we're talking now in terms of your thought process, your mentation, when you're trying to talk to people, are you grasping for words? Are you feeling like if you do something that's pretty technical, are you able to get through that? So are you clear? Are you foggy? Are you sharp? Sometimes as the body goes, so goes the mind, because if you're tired, sometimes that will show up in terms of your thought process as well, okay? So body, mind, and then what is your emotional state? And this has to do with your mood. Are you peaceful? Are you restless? Or do you feel grounded? Well, actually, let me go back here because I didn't tell you what I was doing, what I was feeling. I'm feeling clear. I'm not feeling foggy-headed. Now, the last couple of weeks, with all the stuff that's been going on, I've been a bit occupied. But this week, I felt clear. I did not feel as though I was foggy-headed or feeling dull, pretty sharp. Okay, just wanted to make sure I went back to that one. And then in terms of how I'm feeling emotionally, my mood is good. I'm peaceful and I'm feeling grounded. When things happen in life, sometimes it pushes our buttons. And so we get off course, but making sure, and one of the things that we talk about here is making sure that we have systems in place, that those guardrails that let you know, hey, you're veering off now, and then having a structure, having tools that will help you come back to where you need to be. And it's not that things won't happen. That's not it at all. And it's not that you can avoid things, because they will occur. But do you realize when you're off course? And do you have tools in place that will help to pull you back? Okay? So how are you feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally, having to do with our body, our mind, and our mood, okay? Because fasting is not a guess. Your body is talking to you the entire time. The data, your body, right? The data is your body. It's the diary. It's what reveals how well your structure is holding. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at data. Okay, so here's my Dexcom. So this is my Dexcom that you're seeing right here, and that's my blood sugar, 98 as it is right now. And if I go down to this graph, you'll see some time there that's missing, and that's when my monitor went out, and it took me a while to get it changed over, and now it's at the 98. Okay. What I like about this is if I look at the 24-hour period right there, I can actually put my finger on this and kind of scroll through, and you'll see there what my blood sugars have been doing, 70s, 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 dipped down into the 60s there for just a little while. But for the most part, it's been in the 60s, 70s, and let's see, 60s, 70s, got up into the 80s right there. And so this is the last 24 hours, and then back down into where we are now, 80s, and then a break there, and then where we are right now in terms of 98. Okay, so that's what you see. That's what's going on with my blood sugar there, according to the Dexcom. And here is my Libre. And as you know, the Libre tends to be different from the Dexcom. The last several times that we've done our check-in, they've been pretty close to each other. But now, as you see, one says I'm in the 90s. This one says I'm 59. And that's the number that you see right there, right, 59. And then once again, scrolling down, just like we did on the Dexcom, looking at that number, right, and let's put our right there, and you can see that we've been riding in the 70s for most of the morning, and that's the white part of the graph that you see. And then at some point it changed to red, and that means that my blood sugars dropped below 70. And so starting right at about, what's that, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock this morning, we dropped into the 60s, and then we continued staying there until where we are right now. One of the things I like about this is I can actually go into some additional reports. Right here is my time in range. And I'm looking at this big number here, 86% in range for the last 7 days, and then 14% lows down at the bottom. And if I jump over to the 90-day, I can actually go to a 7-day. Here's a 14-day, so 2 weeks, 30 days, and then, of course, 90 days. And we like to look at the 90 days because our A1C, when we get blood work, is related to what's going on in our 90-day, in the 90-day phrase or period. And so I'm in range, time in target, 86% of the time, 14% of those being of the total time being for lows, that's below 70, and that's usually when I'm fasting. Okay, and you as you saw here just a little while ago, I'm fasting now, and it says that my blood sugar is in the 60s, actually 50s now. And then looking at another graph, this is my average glucose. And you're looking at this line right about there, right? So 93 is what my average blood sugar is for the last 7 days. But if I look at the last 90 days, it's 89. And then down here, it breaks it out into the different times of the day. I can tell what's going on in my blood sugar. And I love this because I could then make decisions and choices about what to do based on what's happening with those blood sugars. Okay? All right. So let's see. What else? So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's going on with my blood sugars according to the monitors. And here it is. So I've got my Dexcom, my Keto Mojo, and then I've got my Contour right here. And see when a phone call is coming in there. All right. So let's see. So we've got my monitors off to the side. And let's go ahead and let's grab my container. And so here is a strip that we're going to grab for the Contour. This is my Contour meter. And the Contour just gives blood sugar. But I also have the Keto Mojo, which gives both blood sugar and ketones. And someone in our community on the YouTube channel asked about monitor that does ketones. And so the one I use is the Keto Mojo. There are several brands out there. It's the one that when I started doing this and looking into monitors is the one I liked. It's not, there's no affiliation with the brand or anything. I just like this one as I was reading about it, and I know several people who use it. And when I used it and compared it to when I did a urine, ketones, and so forth, it was good. And so it gives me the data that I need. So here is a Lancet. Actually, let me do this first. I'm going to open up. I'm going to go ahead and open up my strip. And that strip is for the glucose. All right, so get these off the screen. And then here is my ketone strip. And this one will give me ketones, but I'm opening it up so I can just have it off to the side. I'm going to hold that there. And then go ahead and grab a strip, Lancet that is. Open that up. And this is the finger we've been picking on, so let's go ahead. We're going to stick right there. And ow, ow, ow. Yeah, that hurt. And so that gives us a pretty brisk drop. Boom, boom, boom. And let's get one on to the contour. And so 65 is what the Keto Mojo says. Let's see what the contour says. Contour says 66. And then going back over here to the freestyle, so it says 60. So 60, 65, 66, and then going back to the Dexcom. So in this case, the Dexcom is the odd man out, and so the Dexcom says I'm 93. Okay, so you can see that. Now, let me go ahead. I'm going to take out this strip, and we're going to get this strip in here. This is my ketone. And let's go ahead and get that started. All right. Get that one started. And so what do you think my ketones are? Right? So go ahead and drop in the chat. What do you think it is? And 1.4. 1.4 is what the ketones are. And so when we talk about ketones that are less than 0.5 are considered normal. 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and then above that considered therapeutic ketosis. All right, so we're in that 1.5 to 1.5 period, which is nutritional ketosis. And so when we're in ketogenic diet, when we are eating, when we're fasting, that is, with the intention of being in ketosis, or we're eating a fasting mimicking diet, that's what we want. We want ketones that are at least 0.5 or higher. Now, I'm going to try to pull this over, and I have been having some trouble with the app itself, pulling it over and syncing it. So let's see if it'll work for us. And I'm going to go back and hop over right here and see if that will sync. And we'll do that, and we can keep talking while it does it, just in case. Okay. So one of the things that we want to see is we want to see blood sugars that are, and it's sync. Yeah. So let's go ahead and drop that over. Let's do this one. There we go. And so we're looking at these numbers right here, these three numbers. 2.5 is my glucose ketone index, or glucose ketone index. It's a ratio of the glucose and ketones. And then in the red over there on the side, you'll see my glucose, which was 65, and then my ketones are 1.4. And so the ratio, we want that GKI to be as low as possible, and in this case 2.5. And you've seen us, we've had those up to, I don't know, I think we've had up to 40 or thereabouts. So 2.5, pretty good. Now, what does this set of numbers tell me? Number one, it tells me that because my glucose is low, it tells me that my sugar in my body actually is going down. Does that make sense? All right, as the glucose goes down. Because they're ketones, that means that my body has been getting energy from somewhere other than sugar. And where do you think that is? Well, one, it has to go into my liver to get sugar or break down glycogen. And then when the glycogen is done, it has to go to my fat cells. And in order for me to have ketones, and to have ketones in this range, because we said less than 0.5 considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, it has to be breaking down fat. And so when I see this, I get excited because this means that my body is doing for me what I want it to do. And that translates into this first thing that we saw earlier when I first brought this up. It translates into weight loss. So if you are looking for weight loss, a great way to do that is with fasting. Okay? Now we'll talk more about that here in just a little while, but that helps us as well. Okay? All right. So that's what's going on. That's what's been happening in my body. So as I said, your body is a data gathering system. Okay? It is producing data, it's giving you information so that you can do what you need to do. You can make decisions based on what you're seeing there in the data. So we don't want to ignore any of that. Now, one of the things that I do want to do is I'm going to go over and we're going to take a look at, we're going to go back to this one actually. We're going to take a look at some information here, because what I want to do is I want to look at my 90-day summary of blood sugars. So 90 days, and I always say 90 days because that's where our A1C is coming from. That's what we're looking at when we go to see our doctors and so forth. So 90 days, you'll see there that my average blood sugar is 113 right there in the middle. My glucose management indicator, which is a surrogate for A1C, is 6.0. So if I were to get A1C, that's what I would expect that it would be. Okay, I would expect that it would be at a 6.0. I can't call it an A1C because it is a calculated number, but I can anticipate that that's what it would be. If you have not seen yet my show where we looked at my actual numbers, go back and watch that. Then you'll see a correlation between what my blood sugar is and what my A1C was. Okay? Let me just do something here really quickly. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to hop into our discussion for today because we are I'm just so excited about where we are, what we've been doing, and the benefits that I'm seeing in myself and the benefits that we are seeing in our community as well, so that we can talk about what's been going on and how do we do this well. So let's go ahead and hop over and let's do that right now. All right, so every Friday we gather right here, 72 hours into the fast. Sometimes it's actually more than 72 hours into the fast, to do something powerful, to do a complete review of fasting. Not just what's happening inside your body, not just how you feel today, but how fasting actually works from beginning to end. We think of it as a system and as a strategy and as a tool. This is the blueprints review, the fasting manual, if you will. Whether this is your first week with us, this is your 10th week, this is your 50th week, today gives you the full picture. So that next week, it isn't trial and error. Next week, it becomes part of who you are, part of your design. And so today we'll walk through how to prepare for the fast, how to get through your fast, how to break the fast, and how to use fasting as a reliable, predictable system. And you get to see, I've got it right here, you get to see what I eat for the first time in 72 hours, right? We get to see all of that because it is amazing to see the benefits that we get. Because fasting is not a guess. Your body talks to you during fast. We get to see the benefits of fasting when we're monitoring. I shouldn't say if we're monitoring. So let's jump in. Let's get to it. And let's talk about what's going on in our bodies. And today it's not about the 33-hour transition. We've already covered that. It's not about the 56-hour adaptation. We've covered that. Today is essentially a master class on how to fast well, how to fast on purpose every time. I want you to think about this like building a house. Every fast has 3 phases: the setup, the maintenance or the steady phase, and then breaking the fast. And if you understand these, you can fast successfully whether your goal is weight loss, blood sugar control, inflammation reduction, mental clarity, discipline and routine, metabolic health, whatever it is. If you understand the phases of fasting, you can apply it to where you are. Of course, we're talking about health, but all of those that I just mentioned fit into our domains of health. So today, we're walking through the entire fasting arc from beginning to end, right? And we are right now at 72 hours. So the blueprint system, right? Fasting. How to fast well, how to fast on purpose, and how to fast every single time so that you are successful. So the first is the setup. Fasting is fasting is an amazing tool. Let me start there. It sets us up for metabolic success as well as other areas of our lives. And just like any tool, if we're going to use the tool, we want to know what's going on, how do we do it, what's the best practices in terms of using it. And so we're going to talk about setting up. So most fasting struggles don't actually happen during the fast. That's the first thing for us to understand. They actually happen in the setup phase, long before the fasting ever shows up, long before you ever get into the fast. So we're talking about how to prepare for a fast correctly so you don't crash on day one. So number one, prepare your last meal. Prepare your last meal. Don't wing it. If you've been following us, you've seen that we have had our pop-ups where we're showing what we're eating for the last time before we get into the fast. People think the fast starts at hour 0. They think they fast right here. Okay, I'm about to fast. Boom. But it actually starts with your final meal. A good last meal is consistent with our balanced bites idea. We won't go through all of the balanced bites, but protein, healthy fats, non-starchy vegetables, limiting the carbs, no added sugar. When you prepare a meal like that as your last fast, it helps you, or last meal before the fast, it helps you in the fast. A bad last meal makes the first 12 hours miserable, or can, because it sets you up for cravings. It sets you up for to stimulate your appetite. It delays the progression of the fast into ketosis, which is where we want to go to achieve all the benefits that we are thinking about, that we want. Weight loss, blood sugar, mental clarity. So a bad last meal can make those first 12 hours not where you want them to be. So number one, prepare your last meal. Don't wing it. Number two, hydrate before the fast. Often when we're in the fast, we don't think about drinking because we're not eating. So we want to make sure that we come into the fast well hydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty. If you wait until you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Dry fasting means more challenging fasting. I'm not going to say it's hard. I'm not going to say it's not doable. Yeah, you can do a dry fast, and we don't do dry fasts here. We say, yeah, you are fasting, but you are drinking. You're taking in non-calorie containing fluids. Hydrated fasting is smoother than dry fasting, right? So hydrate before the fast starts. Number 3, set your structure. Don't rely on motivation. Now, you know this one was coming, right? Your fasting success is determined by several things. It's determined by the things you put in place. The bedtime that you have. If you're up late and fatigued, if you're random in your bedtime, then that can have an effect on the fast. Your environment, right? The things that are around you, the people that are around you. Are there things in your environment that are pushing your buttons? Are there triggers? Are there food triggers? We've talked about the HEAT model, habits, emotions, access, and taste. Those are reasons why we eat other than nutrition. Do you have some pre-fast affirmations? And we should come back and do some episodes and some shows where we actually go through the affirmations, just creating those for you. I can make it through. I will make it through my next 24-hour fasting. I am making significant changes in my body and my metabolism to get me healthy. I finish what I start. I'm taking charge of my health today. What are the pre-fasting affirmations? And then plan for stress. It's coming. I'm throwing my hand up as a witness that it's coming. Right? So things will happen that will pull at and attempt to throw you off fasting. Not that those things are designed to do that, but because life is going on, you will have times when they happen. So plan. Plan for cravings. Because there are times as you're going through the fast that your mind will have triggers. You'll see people walking around you. You'll see people eating. You'll see the family members at your house. People are cooking, and you will have some cravings. That is not abnormal. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. So what are you going to do when the cravings come? Do you have a system? Your plan, what is your plan for the moment when you want to quit? I'm pausing right here. Because somewhere through the fast, the thought may come for whatever reason, whether it's a trigger, whether it's something that is happening within you, and all of them really are triggers. And your brain will say, yeah, let's not do that this week. Let's pick it up back up next week. What do you do? What's your plan for that moment? Because all of the things we're talking about, they have nothing to do with what's going on in the fast. This is what you do pre-fast. These are your pre-decisions. These are not emotional failures, the things that happen. They are structural issues. Structure prevents sabotage before it starts. Number 4, know your hunger waves. Know your hunger waves. So number 1, prepare your last meal. Don't wing it. Number 2, hydrate before the fast. Number 3, set your structure. Don't rely on motivation. And then number 4, know your hunger waves. Hunger comes in waves every 20 to 30 minutes. It's coming. If you can ride the wave, it will pass. If you can ride the wave, it will pass. Hunger is not an emergency. It's a signal. It is saying that there's something going on in your body. There are changes that are happening, and it's not something wrong. You can make a decision at that moment that, okay, now I understand what's happening, and I am going to stick with it. So understand your hunger waves, and then expect the middle shift window. And we talked about the middle mile before. So hours 10 to 16 are where most people talk themselves out of the fast. Well, I've been going long enough. Man, I usually am eating by now. Man, look at everybody around me. I'm bored. I'm whatever's going on. This is actually normal. Your body is actually switching gears. The brain is renegotiating comfort. Because food has been our comfort for so long that now we feel that as though something is happening that, well, yeah, I'm not going to do it quite this time. I'll come back next week and do it. No, that doesn't mean there's something wrong. This is not a weakness. It's a transition. And it's actually an indication that you're on the right track. Okay? So phase one, which is our setup. Phase two is the steady phase, right? That's stability. The steady zone. This is hours 20 to 60, all right? So that's a long period. This is where structure replaces the struggle. The things and the success that you have here directly relate to the structure that you have in place. Between 24 and 60 hours is where fasting becomes a practice. Not a test of willpower, not a punishment, but a skill. This phase is not the 33 or the 56-hour biology phase. This is the strategy of the middle hours. How to stay steady even when your emotions and your environment is shifting. Let's walk through that a little bit. Number one, surf the hunger waves. Don't fight it. This is how we make it through. Right? We talked about hunger waves coming 20, 30 minutes. You do not push through hunger. You observe it. Remember our COPE model? Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. Clarify. Is this hunger or is this boredom? Is it habit? Is it an emotion? Is it a pattern craving? Is it a cue response? I see people around me and, okay, let me go do that. Right? Clarify. Most hunger is pattern driven, not physiologic. Most of the time when you want to eat, when you are not hungry, when you don't need energy, let me say it that way. Because remember, there are two types of hunger. There's physical hunger and there's psychological hunger. So now we're talking about the psychological hunger. If there's a physical hunger, then that we need to feed. Many of us rarely get to physical hunger. Many of us don't fast long enough to get to physical hunger. Let me say it that way. Right? So most hunger is pattern driven. Heat model, habits, emotions, access, and taste, right? So those are things that push our buttons. Number one is surf the hunger wave. Don't fight it, right? Observe it. Don't judge it. See where it is. Name it. Use walking as a fasting stabilizer. So this is this COPE. Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. Do something different. A 10-minute walk, 10 to 20-minute walk will smooth glucose. It will reduce cortisol. It will calm hunger. It will help to improve clarity. So we're executing, right? Clarify, observe, pause, and we're executing. We're doing something different than we would normally do. We would normally go and grab some food, but we're doing something totally different right now. It helps to reset your energy when you're walking. So movement is not a punishment. Movement is actually regulation. Remember, move a muscle, change a thought. One of the things that we teach. Move a muscle, change a thought. So number one is to observe, right? Surf that wave, that hunger wave. Number two is to use walking as a fasting stabilizer. Just add it to your script. If I, right, the if then, if I get hungry, if I feel hungry, I'm going to go walking. That's number two. Number three is this idea that electrolytes and fluids are not optional. They are your fasting safety net. Cravings often aren't food cravings. They're hydration and electrolyte cravings. So make sure you're hydrated pre-fast, but in the fast itself, pay close attention to that process. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink. Set yourself a schedule where you're drinking and add some electrolytes to that, particularly if you're doing some of the fasting, longer fasts. Remember, cravings often come and we confuse them with hunger, but it's actually the fact that we are dehydrated. And then next, avoid mistakes that break some fasts. And there are two that I want you to avoid. Number one is overthinking the fast. Overthinking. Oh, I'm going to this. I'm not going to be able to make it through. Oh, I'm going to get hungry next hour. Oh, everybody's coming over and they're going to be eating, so I'm going to. Right, so what we're doing is we're prognosticating. We're pre-anticipating some of those things. And once they get set up in our mind, yeah, then they're there. So number one of the mistakes, we overthink the fast. Number two, we wait until the breaking point to intervene. Like, I can make it, oh, I can't make it anymore. So we don't want to get just up to that point where we can't make it anymore, because by then, guess what? You can't make it anymore. Fasting is not a test of suffering. It is a practice of stability. You're not a great faster because you toughed it out. You're a great faster because you put structures in place to get you through the fast. And what makes that fasting process great is that now I can do it again and again and again and again at will. If I just barely made it through, if I just toughed it out and white knuckled it, then I probably, when I start thinking about doing it again, it's like, oh my goodness, I got to go through that and get another time. But if I've got a structure, I say, oh yeah, let's just get into the structure. We can do this. Not a problem. And then protect your emotional window. Protect your emotional window. Around 36 to 48 hours, emotions can intensify. This doesn't mean the fast is failing. It means you're becoming aware of what's happening. Hormones are changing. Remember, energy is switching. Glucose is now down. The glycogen is out. You're becoming more aware. Awareness is a part of restructuring. As you now get to understand the changes that are going on in your body, you will begin to tell. It's like, okay, now I know, now I feel a little cold, so I know that my body's shunting blood from my skin, right? So you will begin to anticipate and feel those. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means that things are switching. And then watch for the wall. The wall is not a physical wall. It's a mental friction plus cortisol spike. Mental friction plus cortisol spike. So some anxiety is there, and there's some dissonance that's happening. And the solution for that, guess what it is? Hydrate, get some minerals, some electrolytes, get some rest, go for a light walk, do some deep breathing, and reconnect with your why. Come on, let me go through that again. So the solution to the wall, which we will hit, and I'm putting my hand up because I hit the wall. The solution is hydrate. Make sure you have electrolytes. Get rest. Move a muscle. Change your thoughts. So do some light walking. Some deep breathing. So you're relaxing. You're calming yourself. You're activating the calming mechanisms in the body. And then reconnect with your why. Structure diffuses the wall. The wall is anticipating, and it's built on anxiety. When structure shows up, there's calm. And calm is the new control. You're not chasing energy at this phase. You're steady. And you're creating the energy, or you're making the energy steady. Your brain is using ketones. Your system is predictable. Your emotions are leveling. This is the moment where fasting stops being effort and it starts becoming design. So the steadying, the stabling. And then our next zone is breaking the fast. Some of us love this one. I like it. Coming out of it. Refeeding completes the metabolic loop. When we eat, we're coming out of the fasting phase. And one point that I just want to make here is, well, I'm going to hold on to that. Okay, hold on. So, note to self. The end of the fast is just as important as the beginning. How we get through the fast, just as important as the beginning of the fast. How do we start the fast? Just as important as the ending of the fast. Breaking the fast well is what keeps the next fast successful. So let's walk through that together. Your first bite decides everything. If you don't hear anything else I say about this aspect of fasting, the very first bite that you take after the fast decides everything else. One bite of something that stimulates your appetite, stimulates your glucose, elevates your insulin, spikes your cortisol, will shut everything else down, will shut the metabolism work that you've done over the fast. So we don't want to do that. We want to take the benefit that we're getting in the fast as long as possible into the rest of the phase. So, what I was going to say earlier, fasting is not an interruption of my regular life. Often we see fasting, well, I'm going to fast now, so my life is going to get interrupted, and when I finish the fast, I'll get back to life. Fasting is a continuum within the spectrum. It's a loop. And we simply go from one phase to the next. And you've heard me probably say that my fasting window and my eating window, they're all a part of the same system. So your first bite should be gentle. So this is not the time to go to the buffet or to go order a 7-course meal as the first meal. It should be gentle. Remember, there are changes that have happened in your GI tract. Those cells are quiescent. They are not functioning like they normally do. They're not producing all of that mucus that's normally there to protect the GI tract because there's nothing coming down. And so they're just kind of chilling. They're relaxing. They're on break. And if you all of a sudden dump irritating food in, lots of food in, then the GI tract has to quickly wake up, and that can cause elimination problems, bloating, gas, abdominal pain, and so forth. Okay? So your first bite should be gentle. You should eat slowly. It takes 20 minutes for for the signal to get from your brain, from your stomach to your brain that you're full. Don't out-eat the signal. Because if you just get in there, right, then what happens is the signal doesn't get there for a while, and you've already eaten twice as much. So it should be gentle. It should be slow. It should be protein forward, meaning that you're eating things that are going to stabilize blood sugar and help you feel fuller longer. It should include some healthy fats. So this is your first bite, the first thing that you're eating. Think balanced bites. Number two, right? So number one is your first bite decides everything. Number two is the refeeding should have a particular structure to it. And so this is, I mentioned balanced bites, but let's go through balanced bites. So whole foods, it should have light protein, non-starchy vegetables, healthy fats. The carbohydrates that are in it should be complex if you're going to add carbohydrates to it. You want to wait to 2-3 hours maybe before your larger meal. So break the fast with a meal that's appropriate, and then your next meal maybe 2 to 3 hours later. The big meal, if you will. So have a protocol of what you're going to do. Don't wing it. Number 3, here's a list of some foods that we probably should not include in the first meal. Notice I say probably. And going back to balanced bites, whole foods first. Okay? So number 1, bread. Why? High carb. Pasta. Pastries. Rice. Juices. Soda. Alcohol. Sugar. Candy. Cakes. Do I need to keep going? What do you notice about all of those? They all are high carb. Because they will cause a spike. And when the spike happens, then our blood sugars go up and insulin goes up, and then we're off to the races. Okay? So we're talking about breaking the fast. So let's talk a little bit about how digestion resets after a long fast. Your gut, as we mentioned, needs gentle onboarding. The first 6 to 12 hours are about rebuilding the digestive fire. Because everything is quiescent. Everything is kind of slowed down. So you want to introduce food slowly. Not a lot at a time. Not irritating stuff. So if you know that certain foods cause indigestion, they cause burning, they cause other things, then don't include those in the first meal. Okay, so we're talking about breaking the fast. So in addition to avoiding those foods, then we also want, so remember, so we're talking about breaking the fast. So first, your first bite decides everything. First point that we made. Number 2, have a refeeding protocol. Number 3, avoid certain foods, and those were the high carb foods. And you want to avoid those for the first 12 to 24 hours. Number 4, understanding that your digestion needs to reset after a long period. And understand that you can't just dump things in there. And then number 5 is a big one. And this is the one that I struggled with for a long time. Avoid the reward trap. Now, this is for everything, right? But here's fasting, particularly, it comes into play. Feeling so proud of yourself, that, man, I made it through this fast. I'm going to reward myself. And what do we typically reward ourselves with? We reward ourselves with highly processed, high sugary stuff. As a matter of fact, that list that I just gave you, most of the things on that list are the things that we use to reward ourselves. So that is basically a metabolic cliff. You're standing right there and you eat it and then boom. Remember, structure is better than reward. It's not that you can't have those things, but follow the protocol. 12 to 20, break the fast like we just talked about, gentle foods, things that are not caustic, not a whole lot, be slow, avoid those highly processed and high carb foods, and then wait for the larger meal, right? Follow the protocol. And then finally in this section, right, we're talking about breaking the fast. Plan your next fast before you break this one. Oh, come on. Plan the next fast before you break this one. Anticipate what you're going to, when you're going to start. Remember structure. It keeps you from drifting. I do my fast on the same days every week. The exceptions are if I'm traveling, I may pull the fast forward a day, right, so that I can get my fasting in. But for the most part, that's it. My family knows it. My team knows it at work. My church knows it. My friends know it. I know it. Your body loves rhythm. Your metabolism loves predictability. And so every Friday we're here because we're walking through and we're breaking the fast. This is what we do. And so I want to go back and talk about, not go back, but I want us to continue to anchor ourselves, and anchor is the first word, by the way, anchor ourselves in a process, the inner design loop. So walking through this process on a continual basis. So anchor. Anchor, we talk about rhythm, alignment, and structure. So what is our why? Right? So that's the idea there. But here, I want you to ask a slightly different question. What worked this week? What worked during this fast? Right? That's going to anchor us in this fast. What helps us get through this fast? What was it? Number 2, align. What did your rhythm feel like, and where was it steady? What were the things I did that helped me get through the fast? So what worked, and what was the behavior? What were the decisions? What were the things I put in place? What worked? What helped me get through the fast? What was the rhythm? How did it feel? And where did it feel steady? And then adapt. What will you tweak the next time to support your structure in fasting? So anchor. So we're always in the process of evaluating. Anchor, align, and adapt. The anchor is what worked this week. What was the behavior that took me there, and how did that feel? And then what do I need to tweak for next time? And what do I keep? That's another point of that, right? What do I keep for next time? Small adjustments create predictability. Small adjustments create predictability. And so here's the thought. Fasting is a system. We didn't study just the science. We studied the system. When you prepare the fast, when you manage the fast, and when you break the fast on purpose, fasting becomes predictable, predictability becomes safety, safety becomes consistency, and consistency becomes transformation. Structure turns discipline into design, and design turns fasting into Freedom, y'all. So you've completed a full cycle. Many of you are out there right now and you are fasting. You've been fasting with us the entire time. So here it is. You've learned the fasting system. You've seen the numbers stabilize. You've built the trust with your metabolism, and your metabolism is learning to trust you back. That's the process. That is where we are. So what do we do? And here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. And here's the thought. We design our life. We build our health, and we live limitless. That's the goal. Remember, your body is designed to function. Your body wants to function. Your body's looking to function. Your body's looking to get back to normal. What we've got to do is we've got to give it the opportunity to do that. And fasting is an amazing way. It's an amazing tool that affects the body, the mind, the mood. It writes the things that we do. And if we are consistent, we will be successful. Most people don't lose their way, or most people don't delay or get off course because they didn't want to be healthy. Every day, people in their minds are like, man, I need to be healthy. I need to do this. Right? And they start sometimes and they get some successes, but somewhere along the way, things change. Someone gets sick. They miss a day. They indulge in something. And that starts the drift. That will happen. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you because that happens. That is what happens all the time. And it will happen again. If it has not happened to you, it will. It's coming. The question becomes, what do we do? And it is the structure that we put in place that lets us know we're off track, gives us a method to get back on track as quickly as possible so that we can continue down the road and so we can be healthy. You're not broken. It's not that you don't have motivation. It's that you don't have a structure that works. We continue talking about health. We continue looking for ways to help in that metabolic milieu, if you will. Everything from diabetes, pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, obesity, metabolic syndrome, polycystic ovarian syndrome, all of that, and so many other things happen when we have a system, when we have a structure. And fasting is an amazing way to begin walking down that road. So excited that you're here. We will be back as we talk more about our health and as we talk more about being successful with our metabolism. Make sure that you are out there, design the life, build the health, and live limitless. We'll see you next time. All right, so that is our fasting review. That is, I love this because it provides a structure that you can follow. It provides a method that you can walk along with. And so you guys have been waiting, so you get to see what I am eating for the first time. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at that. And here is my plate. And you know I start with a salad. A little bit different salad today. Some of the same things, but let's walk through that together. And first, before I do that, what I want to do is I'm going to pull up, where is our Balanced Bite? So Balanced Bites. Balanced Bite says we are eating whole foods first, minimize processing, no added sugar, lean protein and healthy fats, starchy, non-starchy vegetables, leaning more towards the non-starchy vegetables, tasty and flavorful, portion controlled, right? So that's Balanced Bites. That's what it says. So here's my salad. I've got some lettuce in there, got some tomatoes, cucumbers, I've got some red onions somewhere in there. I've got some Brussels sprouts. There's cheese. There's garbanzo beans, and right there are some black beans. So all of those are in there. And so whole foods, right? So looking through this, the cheese, and there's some feta cheese. And actually, I don't have any dressing on this. So that would have been the other processed or non-whole foods component. No added sugar, or no, minimize processing, same idea. Minimize or sugar or no added sugar. And of this, the dressing would have had it, but since I don't have any dressing, no added sugar. Lean protein. I've got some jerk chicken right here, and as you know, I make jerk chicken weekly. And then I've got some beans. I've got the garbanzo beans, and actually I have some red beans as well. So lean protein, healthy fats. I've got the chicken, right? Healthy fat, if there's fat in it. I've got some cheese, starchy, non-starchy vegetables. So in this, there's not any starchy vegetables. So I've got lettuce, I've got some cabbage in there, I've got some Brussels sprouts, yeah. Got some cucumbers, and I've got some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. And then portion control, yeah. This is probably a little bit bigger than a portion. And tasty and flavorful. So I am anticipating that this is going to be so good. So I'm waiting. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to jump in and eat this. And at the same time, just going to get out there. I see some of our community members, so we're going to say hi to them really quickly. So let me do this. And let's see. So I see Gian. I see Kenty. Kenty was out there first. Hey, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. It's, so guessing 1.1, and my ketones were actually 1.4. So close, but not quite there. Kenty says, happy Friday, Dr. Woode. Hey, man. Glad that you're here. Gian says, hey, doctor. Hi, Kenty. Gian says, I'm surprised to see. Kenty said, Gian, I'm surprised to see your comment so early. Gian says, 5:41. Kenty said, time is flying along. Let's see. And I'm not sure what that says. I lie. Okay. Drop that back again, Kenty. I'm not sure if I can translate that in my head. Kenty said, get back on track. Okay, comment to Gian. Gian says, yes. 15 minutes. Kenty says 15 minutes to 10. Oh, Gian was asking, is it 10 a.m.? Kenty said 15 minutes to 10. And so we're talking here South Korea versus New Zealand, by the way, for those of you who are interested. So good morning. Thank you. You're always energetic, supportive. Oh, I love the community. Love the community. And let's see, what else we have out there? Yeah, so just just the community saying hello to each other and back and forth. And I'm always excited when we get to hang out. We do everything here based on the Triple E formula for success. Remember that we educate, we empower, and we encourage. We educate with the blogs, with the podcasts, with the shows. We empower with the tools that we're learning, right? So fasting, the heat model, the COPE model, all of those are designed to help us implement the things that we're learning. And then we encourage with the community that you're a part of. If you've not done so yet, you want to make sure you get over to our website, Dwain Woode MD, and join our accelerator program. It is an amazing space to be in as we support each other as we move through our metabolic space. Hey, we will be back as we move through the rest of this weekend. We've got Video from the Vault on Saturday night at 9 p.m. We've got This Week in Review on Sunday at 6 a.m. Central. And then we'll be right back here on Monday for Dwain Woode MD Live as we continue our trek through the blueprints for your health as we set systems up that are going to keep us going and keep us successful. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I want to help you have success in your health, just like you're having success in other areas. I want you to be around for those things that are so important. Connections with the family, with the friends, with your community, for the dreams that you've been dreaming. And in order to do that, you've got to be around if you've got to be healthy. You don't need superhuman strength. You need a strategy you can trust. You need a plan you can follow, and you need the support to keep going and to keep showing up. Thank you for being here. We'll see you. We're going to do our Move campaign promo now, and then we'll get out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you in the new week, and we'll see you on Video from the Vault and This Week in Review. Bye-bye. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started.